I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana,
Leo moon signs. This partial solar eclipse is energy that is reflective of your service to the world, your daily life, your work-life balance, disputes, diseases, and debts. So that's a good thing because it is conjunct the South Node, which is all about release. And so releasing debts, releasing diseases, releasing, I keep on forgetting that third one, don't I? Oh no, debt's third. Bear with me. I'm getting through these readings. I haven't been as consistent, and I want to really just go ahead and give you what Great Mother is speaking to you. Debts, diseases, and disputes, releasing all of that right now because Saturn is in there along with Pluto. And for you, your significator is surrender. Surrender to this process, Leo moon sign people, and you are going to be just fine. Many of you already are. Your significator here for this spread, this is a new spread for 2019. Happy New Year. It is new energy. Cancer is in North Node, if Capricorn is in South Node, right? In both the Vedic and the Sidereal until March when it switches in the Sidereal. So you might want to check out your Vedic Sidereal moon sign below to make sure that it's not Leo as well. More than likely, most of you, it will be Cancer. And Cancer, of course, is ruled by the moon. So on a soul level, on a deeply soul level, there is surrender going on. This is heart chakra energy, the crossroads between the ego and the soul. Your significator card is significant to how you are feeling right now as it relates to the inner work that is needed regarding the story you are telling yourself about your life, where you want to be, where you want to go, and specifically at this time where you are. Because we're dealing with realities when we're talking about Saturn conjunct Pluto, because Saturn is transformative, but we forget, what is it transforming? It's transforming what is real. Leo is the energy of I will into existence, I create. So what we have coming up for you in your shadow position, what you may not be aware of in your reality of what you are creating, is the shadow of the Dagda. This is double yin energy. It is primordial mother energy. It is divine mother energy, that black hole. You may not be aware that you right now are creating from a deep sense of intuitive awareness. All of the law cards, the Great Father cards, the law, the word, the logos, are third quarter moon cards, which are release cards. You are at this time releasing a sense of how you work, how you do your daily life, how you are working your bills, your debt, disputes you may have with others with regard to what you want to create. You may want to have a baby at this time, and you may be pregnant at this time. There may be issues around money related to having your child, perhaps some conflict, but you are being instructed to do the inner work of surrendering to this process. This child for you may be a project. It may be a new job position, because Aries in your 10th, let's see here for you, Aries in your 9th house is really forcing you into this spiritual space, Leo moon people. And that is not something that, if you are not into your Vedic Cancer, if you are, you're ready for this. If you aren't, you have just happened upon this video because it's time for you to get into it with that Uranus and Mars in your ninth house, kicking up a storm with the South Node. And what's bringing all of this up for you is that there's an illusion that you've seen. There's something in your life as it relates to this thing that you're wanting to create, or as it relates to this deeper wisdom that you're garnering during this time about yourself, about what you are wanting to create, about how you are wanting to be, about the reality that you are now wanting to exist as it relates to your daily life. Your health may be an issue related to your work-life balance. There's a myriad of issues surrounding sixth house energy for you at this time because it's a balance issue, and eclipses always address balances. Solar eclipses are about inner illumination, and that is in your shadow position. You're not aware of the inner illumination that's available for you as a result of something having been revealed. Maybe there's a conflict in your relationship because of your mama drama trauma. Maybe if you are pregnant, as I've worked with clients, this has happened several times. MDT issues come up during pregnancy, either directly with the mother of the pregnant woman, or the pregnant woman is beginning to really deal with deep emotional issues that have been suppressed. And so this illusion that, everything's going to be okay, let me have my child, I'm going to be different, starts to come to the fore for many people who start to get into this deeper energy. If you're not into that deeper energy, it doesn't come until later when you start to see yourself in your child. But if you have the premonition of knowing that this is a cycle, MDT is a cycle. It is a generational cycle. It's a family pathology, and it comes up. And that's what's coming up. There's some type of illusion associated either with this childbirth, with the birth of this project, with the birth of your new health regimen, or something associated with a conditioned pattern you have learned from your mother that is now time to release. Your desire is to release that sense of victimhood. Leo moon sign people, you are not here for it. And your desire is to be heard. Your desire is to be seen. There's some apprehension about it, however, only because this is a crescent moon card. Crescent moon cards are seeding cards. They are planting cards. And everything we sow does not come into the phase of reaping, the full moon phase. And I do not see any full moon cards here for you. But what I do see is a card, the waning gibbous moon card, that comes after the full moon. So after this full moon, which is a lunar eclipse, Leo moon sign people, there may be very well a sense of you having done all that you can do as it relates to this issue. That's why surrender is your significator. So either you realize it now, or you will realize it later. In your position of what's at stake, if you do not challenge this sense of victimhood, and remember, victimhood is about feeling and allowing yourself to be powerless in a situation out of fear, out of fear. And sometimes that fear can be very justified in one's mind. There's a very real threat, and addressing MDT in the family is very threatening to most people, which is why my coaching work is so valuable. I support people in doing that in the most loving way for them as possible, and the most empowering way as possible. And so what's at stake for you is that if you do not address your issues of victimhood and release those, the purification that's available to you from this deep insight is going to be tabled for a Taurus or Virgo period of time. The heart chakra is ruled by Venus, and Venus rules Taurus and Virgo. This could also mean that because your higher will, your wisdom, or the guru, the master that you're learning from, this ninth house energy of Aries where Uranus and Mars are now, it may be that when Uranus moves back into Taurus, which will be March, April, that purification can occur for you. Okay. As it relates to your desire to release victimhood. If you are still feeling victimized, these things take time. We have to honor our process. And Great Mother, reading the signs and symbols, simply give us a heads up. Okay, she knows exactly where we are. And if you have watched this channel for any period of time, you know that we are divine children of the Great Mother, Father God, who are never judged, condemned, or left alone. Never. There are consequences for our actions. There are consequences for remaining a victim. We never get to live from that place of divinity. Never. Never. Embracing our divinity is the polar opposite of victimhood. But to get there, we do have to do the work of release. That's our work to do. Yes, the celestial bodies and Great Mother and Great Father God, they support us, but we got to work with it. And so how do we do that? By being informed. There are many paths of information, and this is but one. And what she is saying to you, Leo moon sign people, is that what's at stake is your purification. Purification is available when we revise. This is the waxing gibbous moon phase of revision, of editing our direction. There's a direction you have been going and you haven't surrendered to what it is that you need to do as it relates to your daily life. There's a change, there's a seismic shift that needs to happen, Leo moon sign people, with your diet, with how you are dealing with conflict in your life. There is a seismic shift that needs to go on because there are lessons related to this revelation that has come up. Because this is a new moon card. The Maya card is a new moon card. It is a third eye card. And the third eye is ruled by the moon. Cancer, the moon rules Cancer, is your sidereal, your soul sign, your Vedic moon sign. This is telling us that there is an awareness that has come to you that is convicting you to surrender to it. There's a truth that has come up. Okay, so we talked about it could be your truth of you realizing MDT if you're pregnant. You may not be pregnant with child, but you may be pregnant with a project. You may be pregnant with a new creation as it relates to building a house. Okay, we're talking about Cancer North Node as well. And so we're talking about moving, real estate. The collective consciousness is moving toward what feels like home. That Great Mother energy, that maternal energy, that really nurtures us. And so you've had some revelation with regard to that, or you will this very solar eclipse. What's at stake is the purification that you're needing if your desire of releasing victimhood is not released at this time, because many times revelations do make us feel victimized, don't they? We come to an awareness about something like, oh, I've been planning to buy this house and boy, I found out all this stuff is wrong with it in the assessment, and whoa, and so especially if we've been through a lot, we get these hits. And so let's see what Great Mother is saying about what is it you're going to get out of all this inner work. You surrender, okay, you honor the illusion because yes, you've gotten this deep intuitive insight that normally you may not necessarily follow. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but now because you don't want to be the victim, you're like, hey, I better go ahead with this spiritual stuff so I can move on the way I know how to move on as Leo, right? So What are you getting out of all this? The Osiris Horus card in that position is telling you you are going to be reborn. You are actually going to, there we go. You are actually going to sacrifice something in your life in order to have what you want. Isn't that the story of Horus Osiris, the patriarchal figures of the Egyptian pantheon? The death of Osiris made way for the life of Horus. Now, Osiris was resurrected, and that's what's going to happen with you. This, too, is a waxing gibbous moon card. So the revision that needs to go on for you right now as it relates to these new spiritual downloads, this Cancer energy from your soul. Of course, we're talking about chakras, we're talking about Vedic astrology. And so your Leo emotional earth-centric moon sign, okay, emotions is how the ego communicates to the soul. The soul downloads intuition to the ego in response. Throat chakra is heart above energy. So that's soul energy of rebirth. This is soul energy, double yin. But you have a second chakra symbol there. And so second chakra deals with desires. Okay, so your desires are being taken into consideration by the cosmos. Don't give up. This illusion had to be revealed to you in order for you to surrender to the process and knowing you've done all that you can do. Again, second chakra, the Ankh there. But this is your moon phase after the full moon, after this lunar eclipse coming up. So if you don't realize now that you've done all that you can do with regard to that new house, that new project, this child or whatever, and now it's time to surrender to the guidance that you're already receiving. This is in your shadow position. This is in your position of what you're going to get out of owning that shadow, acknowledging that shadow, and living according to your truth. That's what you're going to get out of it. You're going to be able to relax. You know, sometimes you just need to chill. That's hard for Leo moon signs because the Leo moon is ruled by the sun. And the sun really never goes down. You know, it really never goes down. The moon doesn't either, but at least Great Mother has phases. You know, it's volatile because it has phases in many regards, but the sun is relentless. But this solar eclipse, and solar eclipses are when that new moon, that dark moon of Great Mother, that illusion is going to cross over that sun and block it out partially. This eclipse will be visible in Asia. How and when this inner work is going to occur for you. And of course, that's what I specialize in, is inner work. We have to do our inner work, don't we? And this is a time that you're doing it. That might be something new to you. There's some fears coming up. Again, underneath this victim card, you have this fear that's coming up for you. And how is the indicator with regard to the Kali card. Kali transmutes fear. Kali transmutes fear. It's a first chakra card. You see the root chakra here, the root chakra card. First quarter moon, change, decisions, facing challenges. That's what you're going through, and you're trying to reground yourself, or you fear that the regrounding that you need right now in your life is not going to occur. So when is this inner work going to occur? Well, it's delayed now until about the first quarter. And the first quarter from the new moon is approximately 1 week. Okay, so 1 week from this time of receiving this new moon, or actually when the new moon occurs, and you can think back if you're watching it afterwards, would be around the 10th, the 11th, the 12th of January, when you will really be trying to reground yourself in this surrendering, but it may be quite a bit of a challenge. The timing for this is challenging for you because the root chakra is ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is in the South Node conjunct Pluto. So Pluto wants to transform. You have all this energy that is ready to transmute, okay? You're ready to honor the variant goddess energy of Kali. We're all gods and goddesses. That's why you have gods and goddesses on the cards. But they have their stories and archetypes that we can relate to, right? And so you're ready to transmute as well. But the timing of this is very challenging for you if during this eclipse you really don't honor your shadow, which is to come clean with regard to your intuition about this situation. You already have your answer, Leo. This is just Great Mother coming through with some confirmation for you because your outcome card for this partial solar eclipse on the 4th, 5th, around 6, depending on where you are in the world, January in Capricorn, Western Moon, Sagittarius, Vedic is self-inquiry. This is the balsamic moon. The self-inquiry card is also a second chakra card. This is the Earth Father card. So bringing it down to earth, the most probable outcome Great Mother is saying is that what's happening for you during this period, dear one, is an inner dialogue of self-doubt that needs to be turned around to self-awareness. It needs to be turned around to questioning whether or not the accusations, the criticisms, the just doubts that you have about whether or not you can deal with this truth that has come out and surrender to it, they need to be addressed in the following way. If you're familiar with the work of Byron Katie, I commend you. If you're not, I command you to search right here on YouTube, Byron Katie, Byronkatie. Some people say she's harsh, but they say that because they don't know. Like she teaches, they haven't read her work. They don't know. Well, some of them have, and they still mad at her, but they don't know. Even if they've read her work and they mad. I propose that the reason why people get upset with Byron Katie is because they don't know they're divine children, and that's the perspective she writes from. She writes from the perspective that we are divine children of Great Mother, Father, God. And undaunted by any of this. That's hard for most people to imagine, but that's why our tribe is few. Okay, that's why our tribe is few. But if you can imagine it, I'm going to need you to do that, Leo Moon Sign people, in 2019. I'm going to need you to imagine your creativity on a broader scale. I'm going to need you to see the big picture and let go of that little itty bitty one. That's why this came up. That house is not it for you. There's something better. You thought you wanted to get pregnant and have a child because it was going to fulfill you. But now that you are pregnant, or now that you've just had a child, you realize this is bringing up issues from your MDT. And it's time for you to heal your mama drama trauma. It's not always as we think, as the sun relentlessly shows us the physical material world. Great Mother is intensifying our wisdom of the inner. So I'm going to need you to question those pain thoughts, those critical and unjust self-judgments against yourself that make you feel bad about yourself by saying, is it true? Is it true that I'm unworthy to be a mother to this project, a father to this project, or to this child? Is it absolutely true that I'm unworthy to father this creative aspiration? How do I feel when I think that thought? What would my life be like without that thought? If I never thought that thought, what would my life be like? And then I'm going to need you to turn it around. I am worthy. I am good enough. I am creative enough. Your dreams are amplifying. Your aspirations are being guided by your angels, your guides, and ancestors. It's a new doorway for you. Surrender to it. Your heart is opening up, Leo. And that heart energy from your Western astrology is very powerful, isn't it? Go with it. With the blessings of Great Mother. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking. Happy 2019. I'm so happy for you. You can do it. You have the power of the lion to roar on through, and you know that you do. This just caught you by surprise. And this year is going to be surrounded around this type of pattern of illusions being revealed to you. And Great Mother's just saying, hey, be ready for the purification from that prior illusion. You're going to get it. You're going to be reborn. Thank you for watching, sharing, and liking. But above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you. And I do too.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter.